Oh, why are you giving me the side eye? Stand up straight. Stop tilting your head. This is very serious. You're looking at 20 years in prison. You're 18. You're considered an adult. Honesty is always the best policy. Do you understand?
Yes.
There are consequences for actions. And you're dressed in red. I know sometimes people are in red because gang members, sometimes they're in red because of their age. Why are you in red?
This 18-year-old girl is in court facing up to 20 years for robbery, but she doesn't seem to care at all. She's giving attitude to Judge Boyd, rolling her eyes, and acting like the situation isn't serious. What's surprising is that she was actually going to get probation, which is a big chance. But once Judge Boyd realizes she's being lied to, everything quickly starts to change. Do you think judges should be easier on young people like her? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's get into it.
State of Texas versus Darian De La Rosa. All right. You entered a plea on July 5th to the offense of robbery. According to the plea bargaining agreement, state is recommending deferred adjudication. They're taking 2 cases into consideration, and you had a referral to felony drug court, and the court wanted a referral to the felony drug court and wanted a TAP evaluation done for this case. All right. Do you want to go to felony drug court?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a place to stay?
Yes, sir.
Who are you staying with?
My grandmother.
Who else stays with your grandmother besides you?
My sister.
And where's your mom?
She's out of the family.
CPS.
Oh, CPS. Okay. And do you have any children?
No.
All right. That's a good thing. You got to figure out who you are. You're only 18.
I don't plan on having kids anyways.
People say that, but all right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to a $500 fine that will be probated. I'm going to refer her to felony drug court and probation until she's accepted in felony drug court, because we got to keep an eye on her. If you all can do the field visits once every 2 weeks. All right. So you're going to remain in custody until you're transferred to felony drug court. Since we're doing this today, they'll probably have you transferred to them this week.
Okay. My client's been in custody since February 22nd.
Okay. I understand, but it's for your own good. And you're dressed in red. I know sometimes people are in red because gang members, sometimes they're in red because of their age. Why are you in red?
Because I worked out of my car.
See, we have rule problems here. So I know that you've been in custody since February, according to your attorney. I know this seems like a long time. You want things done now, but wanting things now is what got you in this situation in the first place. You understand?
Yes.
All right. So she's to remain in custody until transferred to felony drug court, 150 hours of community service restitution. How far did you go in school?
The 11th.
Why didn't you graduate?
Because I was being moved around a lot.
All right. So it's going to be 150 hours community service restitution. That will be deemed satisfied if she obtains her GED or is in some sort of trade school. What are your plans for the rest of your life? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? What are your hopes, your aspirations, your dreams?
A paramedic.
All right. So what are you doing to make that happen?
Nothing right now.
All right. So if you want to make a dream happen, you just can't wish it into existence. You've got to make those steps, okay? And have you talked to your grandmother? Do you know if she wants you there?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because I'm positive that she will want me there.
Have you asked?
No.
People just make assumptions, Sometimes grandparents will take you in because you're the grandchild, but you still need to ask permission. You understand? All right. Probation, if you can verify her address with her grandmother, and she's to reside there if Miss De La Rosa wants her there, and you are not to leave that location until you have permission. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right. That will be all. Good luck to you. Do better, okay?
You just saw, she told Judge Boyd that she would live with her grandma during probation. But that quickly falls apart. The judge finds out they're not even close and haven't really been in contact. That's a big problem. Lying like that can ruin your whole case. And Judge Boyd does not like being lied to at all. It's one of the fastest ways to lose any chance of help in her courtroom. At this point, everything changes. It's no longer about helping her. It's about the fact that she lied directly to the judge.
All right, you informed the court that you're going to be living with your mother. Now I'm being told the answer to that is no. Why is that? And I don't have this on the record. So, because your attorney's not here, so where are you going to be staying? I'm sorry? All right, so did you not call your mom and ask her for permission?
Grandmother.
Your grandmother, did you not call her and ask for permission? All right, so here's the thing. In this court, honesty is always the best policy. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, so you're on probation. If you're not going to be honest, probation is not going to go well for you. And then what will end up happening, because this is a deferred case, and you're looking at 20 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So here on out, I don't know what has happened in your life, up until now. Your attorney told me a little bit, but in this courtroom, you have to be honest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And, why are you giving me the side eye? Stand up straight, stop tilting your head. This is very serious. I don't know what's been happening in your life. I don't know what happened with the discipline. Obviously, there are some issues because I understand that your mother is not in the picture. So what I'm telling you is you're 18. You're considered an adult. That's why you're in felony court. When somebody is placing you on probation, you need to be honest with them, because guess what? If I were to let this stand that you were to live with your mom, because you told me you were living with your mom, when probation would have gone out for a field visit, your mother would have told them she's not here and she's never been here. And guess what? They would have issued before me a motion to revoke. It would have been in proper order. I would have signed it. A warrant would have been issued for your arrest, and you would have been arrested wherever you were. There are consequences for actions. So now that you're on deferred adjudication out of this court, you must realize everything you do has a consequence. If you don't do your conditions, consequence. And your consequence is potentially going to prison for 20 years. Do you understand? All right, probation. You can put her down for Haven for Hope, but felony drug court will probably help her with housing. Now, is there anything else you were dishonest to the court about?
No.
All right, from here on out, everything you do, you need to ask yourself 2 questions. Is this something that could result in me potentially going to prison for 20 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. And then you say, is this something that maybe I could end up going to prison for 20 years? Then don't do it. You understand?
Yes.
All right, you can have a seat in the box.
I wouldn't have been upset if she got some prison time. Robbery is a serious crime, and I don't understand why people sometimes get probation for it. I see this happen a lot, not just in Judge Boyd's courtroom. Maybe it's because prisons are full, but it still bothers me, especially with the attitude she had, acting disrespectful to the judge. I don't think she deserves 20 years, but maybe 1 or 2 years could help her learn a lesson. She's only 18, so maybe she made a mistake, but lying in court shows her priorities aren't right. What do you think? Do you think she'll succeed on probation or mess up? I think she might mess up because she already lied. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care, everyone.